Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to math class. So today we're going to be working in our workbooks. If you do not have a workbook, then you can just write down and take notes as we go through each problem. And if you do, then I want you to check your work carefully, pause the video anytime you need, and let's learn a lot. Okay, so grab your workbook, a pencil, or grab your paper and some pencils, I guess I should say. You can see on the screen here that we have comparing fractions. We're actually on page 132. So go ahead and find that page number. And again, if you only have workbook paper, then you can just take notes through the first part. And then when we get down to 2, 3, 4, and 5, you can just work those problems out. Okay, so circle your answers. Which is longer, half of recess or half of Saturday? Well, half of recess is half of 15 minutes or so. And half of Saturday would be, depends on if you're talking 24 hours or you're talking just the daytime hours, but still, half of a Saturday is much bigger. So half of Saturday is bigger than half of recess. So if you were writing this on paper, you might want to just follow along. Maybe you just do 1 and you can just say, recess is less than Saturday. We'll just make a little abbreviations here. Okay, letter B. Which is longer, half of a minute or half of an hour? That's right, you should have picked half of an hour. So I'm going to change this to A actually. We're going to write B, and then we're going to write minute less than hour. Okay. C, which is more, half of an apple or half of a watermelon? Watermelon. So C, apple is less than watermelon. ... I'm running out of space. Okay, letter D, which is more, half of a cookie or half of a cake? This one's super easy. Half of a cake is more. Cookie is smaller than a cake. Which is heavier, half of a kilogram or half of a gram? Okay, so half of a kilogram, kilograms are 1,000 grams. So half of a kilogram would be 500 grams. And half of a gram would just be 0.5 grams, not even 1, but just half of it. So definitely 500 grams is bigger. So we're going to write that for letter E. 500 grams is greater than half gram. Which is heavier, half of a book or half of a feather? Half of a book. So this is F. Book is greater than feather. Okay, number 9, which holds more, half of a water bottle or half of a swimming pool? That almost seems silly, doesn't it? Of course the pool is bigger. So for G, I'm going to write BOTTLE, bottle is less than pool. Which is more, half of a liter or half of a milliliter? Milliliter, medicine, remember? Very small. So a milliliter is super tiny. And we remember that it's medicine because when you have those little medicine cups, they're about this big and they only hold about 30 milliliters. And that's what you get your children's Tylenol or things like that in. And so it's very small. And half of a liter would be about the size of a standard water bottle. For instance, the one I have here is about half a liter. You can see it's insulated. If I hold, I don't want to spill my water, but it's insulated and it is thicker on the inside. So when you pour things in it, it might look like on the outside it's bigger, but actually it's about half of a liter. So half of a liter is much bigger than half of a milliliter. So H will do liter, L-I-T-E-R, is greater than milliliters. Easy peasy. Okay, so now that we've practiced our measurement really quickly, now we're going to go down to comparing fractions. So all of these fractions, here's a good time. If you haven't done this, pause the video right now and go ahead and solve these three and then check your work. Okay, are you back? You with me? All right, let's check. So we have 1/2 and 1/3. Now, what I notice is that my numerators are the same. So I'm going to look at my denominators. 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 3. Well, I can draw a picture. Here's 1/2. And I'm going to draw the same, roughly the same shape here. And I'm going to cut it into thirds. And 1/3 is smaller. But I can also remember the smaller the denominator, the bigger the pieces. So if you forget, think about this. Half of a cake, it's pretty big. And if you had 1/8 of a cake, you would have to cut the cake into 8 equal pieces and you would just get 1 out of 8. So the bigger the denominator, the more slices or the more shares are made. So 1/2 is bigger than 1/3. Let's look here. Again, we have unit fractions. We know that this shape would be cut into 4 pieces and you'd get 1. And this one would be cut into 3 pieces and you would get 1. The smaller the denominator, the bigger the pieces. Again, let's check here. 1/8, 1/7. You should have picked 1/8 is bigger than 1/7. Oops. No, I did it backwards. Sometimes we make mistakes. 1/8 and 1/7. Think about that. 1/7 is bigger than 1/8. The smaller the denominator, the bigger the pieces. So we're going to write that out. The smaller the denominator, and I'm just going to put din because we're running out of time here. The smaller the denominator, the bigger the pieces. And I'm just going to put bigger pieces. Okay. Choose one pair of fractions from problem 2 and discuss your answer. How do you know which is more? All right, let's go to the one that I made a mistake on. I'm going to circle that one. So you pick which one you're going to explain. All right. I'm going to say 1/8 is 1 out of 8. 1/7 is 1 out of 7. 1/8 is smaller. I'm just going to say because it's being shared more times. It's being shared 1 more than 1/7. Now, if I wanted to draw a picture, maybe I would have done 1/2 and 1/3 or 1/4 and 1/3 because those are easier pictures to draw. So that's why I just use these words. So if you did 1/2 and 1/3, you would just explain that 2 is smaller than, or 2 is bigger than 3 when you're thinking about the slices of your pieces. You're only sharing with 2 people. Here you're sharing with 3 people. Then same thing here. We're sharing with 4 people versus sharing with 3 people. All right, let's go to number 4. My friends and I are sharing a watermelon. I got 1/4 of the watermelon and my friend Michelle got 2/4. So I have 1 out of 4 and she has 2 out of 4. Think about that. Who got more? Explain your answer. Well, 1/4 is mine and 2/4 is my friend. Now, the sizes of the pieces are the same because the denominators are the same. So when your denominators are the same, you compare your numerators. Which is more, 1 out of 4 or 2 out of 4? Then again, I'm not a computer, so this is a little bit difficult to just sketch out exact fractions, but you can see in this quick sketch that 2 out of 4 is half of the shape. So we could also compare our unit fractions, 1/4 and 1/2, and we know that 1/2 is bigger. Explain our answer. So Michelle has more I know because she has 2 pieces and I have 1. All right, let's look at 1/6. So to divide this into 1/6, first I'm going to cut it into thirds. So it's kind of like finding the middle and then drawing lines on the outside of it. That's about right. And then straight down the middle, and that makes 6 equal pieces. And yes, it's a little off. So just scoot it over just a bit, but if yours is a little off, then it's okay. We're just doing our best. All right, so I've got 1 out of 6. I'm going to shade that in. Each one of these is worth 1/6. That is the unit fraction of this figure, and we're shading in 1/6. Okay, 1/3. I need to break this into 3 equal parts. So again, I'm going to kind of find the middle, and I'm just going to trace my finger. And that gets me just about equal spaces. It's a good little trick. 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. So I'm just going to shade in 1/3. All right, done with that. All right, now remember, if you are doing this on paper, you can pause the video at any time and create these problems. And that's all for now. I will see you soon. Bye, friends.